Hey, we're there.
Right. We managed to go live and put a ticker on the bottom, and Cheryl's not in the house.
Well done, you. Every day's a school day.
Every day is a learning day. Welcome to Friday, everybody. I'm slightly delirious.
Brilliant.
I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I've just realised that one has not actually combed one's hair today. But hey, we're amongst friends. You won't judge me.
It doesn't matter.
I brush my teeth.
It keeps it real.
I brush my teeth. Very real. Deodorant, bra, teeth. Just forgot the hair. Do you know what I mean? So welcome to Donna and Carol TV. But it's obviously it's Friday, so we get the Soul Squad in. Half of our squad's on holiday. Thomas and Joe's on holiday. Mel's on holiday next week. Yvette's not having a holiday for a while because she just set up a business.
I'm going to be working 24/7 for the foreseeable future. Yeah.
Just look at this happy smiley face because by Christmas
there's going to be bags.
Which will be happy. So welcome everybody. And who's joining us? Tell me who's joining us because I'm just trying to get your comments.
Oh, hopefully not Mr. Weirdo Man. That was strange, wasn't it?
It was very odd. To be fair, we've had
I didn't see what he put.
Something about anal and something else. Like delete. Some weirdo. I know. But the thing is, because it's on YouTube,
nice.
they're not necessarily in the Soul system. So, but there's always one. Hello, Haley Hudson Hathaway. I mean, isn't that a fabulous name? Like that could be a movie star name.
Yeah.
Hathaway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. Who else have we got? And we're just going to shake it down, aren't we, girls? We're just going to have a bit of a chew of the fat over the week. It has been a phenomenal week. Like there's been nuts on. But you ladies have had a lot going on. Mel, let's start with you. You've had some good things happen this week.
I had a couple of good things. So my contract has been extended or will be extended at work, which is fab because I don't have to worry now about looking for a new job. And I'm also hoping that in the next 6 months, I might not have to look for a new job, which is super cool. And anyone who's been following our stories in the Soul System or in any of the online programs know that I had a massive wobble at the beginning of the year in my job and felt like I was pretty useless and stupid and couldn't do it and I was going to leave and I was a mess. And at one point, me and my boss actually sat down and had a conversation and the words were, we do not have a working relationship. She didn't trust me. I had no faith in myself. And then yesterday she was like, Mel, you've kept me sane for the last few weeks.
Yay!
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so now I'm a bit stuck really because all of my go-to evidence that supports my belief that I'm stupid. Like, where's all that gone?
Awful, isn't it? We've got no evidence to back up the fact that you're stupid.
No evidence to back it up. So I'm going to have to get off that bus. I'm going to have to get off the self-pity bus and get on the I'm a success bus.
Yeah. But like,
so that feels really good.
But you've done like a lot of work. Oh, a big go, Mel, from Haley. Thank you, Haley.
Oh, thanks, Haley.
What's been the thing? Because people are out there. I mean, last night again, girls, didn't we? We had the Imposter Syndrome Masterclass. 100 people live joined us, which was amazing. But it's still the same things, isn't it? I'm not good enough. I feel thick. I feel stupid. I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
Again, realizing that we are all in it together. But you've been doing a lot of the inner work. Like you're in the Soul System, you're in the squad, but you're also one of our clients in the Real You program. Like you have been doing the inner. You haven't been trying to change your boss and change the policies at work and change it. You've worked on you.
Yeah, I absolutely have. And I remember at one point standing in the kitchen at work going, I'm giving myself permission to walk out the door and turn my back on this and just to take the easy path. And I didn't. What I did instead was I walked out the credit card, signed up for the Real You program and never looked back. And now I say to myself every day, I did not give up. So it's all been the inner work. Nobody's come along and done anything apart from obviously the people in the Real You program and the Soul Squad and you guys, but you haven't You've given me the tools and the ideas and asked the questions and called me out on my bullshit, which has all been immensely helpful. But yeah, I literally you do. I think you get to points in your life where you go, I can either just give up and or I can keep going, and you don't really know what's going to be at the other end of each of those options.
Yeah.
But deep down inside, I think we know that if you run away, you're probably heading for more crap. If you keep going, you'll go towards a light somehow because you're making a positive decision.
Yeah, I remember one of the girls actually was really insightful in the Chaos to Calm group. She did the Chaos to Calm. She repeated the program. She did twice, the 4-week program that we did. And what was amazing was it was in the second program. So it was exactly the same thing, 4 weeks back to back, 4 weeks back to back. She did it. And it was in that second round that she had that aha moment of, I keep moving job to job. The problem isn't the job.
Remember that? Yeah.
And it was like that proper, like, I am the common denominator, but she had that belief that place was unreasonable and that place was unreasonable and those people hard to get on. And don't get me wrong, like, sometimes that can be the case, right? But she was like, but I can fix me. She's like, I'm not leaving my job. I'm going to fix me. And I was so proud of her in that moment. But
so good.
having that epiphany of, like, actually, if I just move to another job, it's going to be the same, isn't it? So, Mel, well done.
What I would say,
get that feedback though must be like, it must feel, I know we're laughing saying you've got no evidence that you're shit anymore, but like, it just must feel so good to go, actually, it's not just me that feels like it's paying off. I've got evidence now of somebody who's a value telling me that the work is paying off.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't even, we struggled to have a conversation and look each other in the eye in January. We were both so deflated, and now it's completely different. But I just want to say something. So when I said there about keep going, don't just keep going and doing the same stuff that you've been doing. I think that's the thing. I kept going, but I didn't keep going on my own, and I committed to making changes within myself. I didn't just stay the same and keep going. So I think that's important to clarify.
A lot of people say that to me as well. I don't know if you noticed this, girls, but like, a lot of people will have, maybe they'll come, sometimes they'll have a call with me or they'll message or whatever, and they'll say, I'm really interested. I think I want to do the work, which is, you have to really want to do it, right? And then they'll say, and then they'll go, I'm gonna give it a year. It always reminds me of the film. And it's like, the year ain't going to make any difference other than you regretting having spent a year and not done anything about it, because something has to change for something to change. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Like, that's the actual definition of insanity. So even, and I get that it's scary to work on you because it's much nicer to believe that it's everybody else's fault, but you're going to come out with a whole different set of skills when you do the inner work, which is what I chose to do after a really crappy divorce, after nearly going bankrupt and all this stuff. I was like, I can just keep blaming men. I can blame the courts. I can blame the legal system. I can blame all of this. I can blame the police. Or actually, I can just go, how the fuck did I get myself into this? And how can I make sure I never get myself into this position again? And that was like a turning point for me.
I think there's something in what Mel said as well. Two things, really. I think because you make me laugh, because you were saying the other day, I didn't know I had a higher self until I started the Real You program. And what makes, but the thing is, you've had the intuition to know that relationship with your boss was transmutable or like transformational, as in, you knew you could do something there deep down in your gut, because sometimes it's a case of you've got to have intuition to know whether to walk away or to be able to transform something. So I think that's really cool. And then the thing, Donna, I was thinking of when you were talking there as well, is that not in like a superficial way, but like for years I've been that self-help junkie. I've read the books, I've done the things, I've and what I say is that you can academically understand stuff and you can regurgitate it, but until you actually break open your heart and really do the work, I mean, like, really do the work, like get the big scary shit in front of you, then stuff doesn't start to move until you kind of, yeah, just, get the barnacles off your heart, basically.
Absolutely. And the books are amazing.
Absolutely.
And, like I did a lot of mine in the early days because I was almost bankrupt and didn't have a pot to piss in, like through books and listening and watching and teachers like Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor. But I got more out of work. And I'm not just saying this about working with those guys. I just mean in general, like go to wherever you want, wherever you feel comfortable. It's like, but I got more out of a couple of conversations with my coach, Danielle, than I had. Like I was cracked wide open after investing. I paid like £1,000 at the time for an intensive day, and I'd had a call with her before, and I got more from that experience than I had in the 15 years of stuff that I'd done up until that point. I was like freaking light bulb moments, ping, 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 mini orgasms, as you would say. So you've just got to do the work, and I get that it's scary. And whenever people come to us and when they do mindset work, they say, I don't know what to expect. And I'm like, well, whatever you think you're going to expect, that's not what you'll get. So just literally go with the flow and just do it. And nothing has to be broken. It doesn't have to be scary, but just explore, just be curious and give yourself that space. Which I bet you stepping up a year ago to give yourself space. Funny, you didn't have a clue that you'd be setting up your own business and being a really successful corporate career and doing all of this, did you? Like that's new.
Right. That just that's just blown my mind. And I think that's the thing, is because when you kind of go through a program like your Real You program or anything like that, you kind of think that things, because our minds go, all right, okay, so here's some linear steps and these are the boxes that I'm going to tick, and therefore at the end of it I'm going to get an outcome, because we're trained that way.
Yeah.
And like your picture that you were just showing us before we came live, that isn't how life is. And we can look in hindsight and go, and all of these things happened which led to blah blah blah, which is great, but at the time you feel like you're swimming in this sea of what the fuck is going on in my life. And it might not happen like there's sometimes where the emotion will catch you off guard and you'll think, oh gosh, but the whole process itself is positive, because for the first time in a long time, I feel absolutely aligned in every area of my life. I know, it's great.
You look different though. Like you look so different.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Like there's literally like this glow thing going on. Like you're still there. You still look absolutely beautiful. But it's like, I always remember seeing you in your corporate environment with your corporate in that glass box room. And I remember thinking, it's Yvette, but it's like a different version of it.
That was so funny as well, because I remember that first call, and it was in a glass box meeting room. I'd hidden off to the side, and I thought, okay, well, let's just see what this was all about, went into it, and I cried on the discovery call. I was like, Jesus, man, what is going on?
If anyone's got one booked in over the next week, bring your tissues.
But, that alignment thing is really important, because years and years ago, when I did my yoga teacher training, I identified this duality, because you get into that with that side of things, and I just thought, I don't know how to get rid of that. Is it a case of bringing more of me to work? So when I did start the last corporate role, I thought, okay, this is it. I'm bringing all of me to work, and I did mostly. But there's always that. There's always that thing that you just don't, there's that last little 10% of you that you kind of have to leave at the door when you walk through. Whereas now it's literally everything, even the admin. I mean, I hate admin, but even the admin stuff, I'm like, oh, it's mine. It's my admin. It's my
admin. And this is the thing, when people say, when I go, do you love your life? Like, do you love your life? And they go, yeah. Yeah, like I really like my job, and I say all the time, I loved my job. I didn't have anything else to benchmark it against. You'd give me now, like yesterday, having 2 coaching sessions on the morning, which it's not particularly professional, but both of the women had such incredible breakthroughs that me and Cheryl were both like welling up, like trying not to cry, because the breakthroughs were like literally back-to-back life-changing, fucking game-changing breakthroughs. Then we did a podcast with somebody that we had on as one of our guests as a podcast, the amazing Lucy Quigley. That was really emotional, seeing the difference in lives and stuff. Then we did then I got to have a walk in the middle of the day and take Caleb to play football. And then we did the masterclass last night. And I was like, if you benchmark a 10 out of 10 day now against what would have been a 10 out of 10 day before. So when I say to people like, do you jump out of bed and you can't wait to get into your day? That's why I can get up early in the morning. And that's because it's like, I know all this joy that's going to unfold in front of my eyes. I didn't quite get that in corporate. Like, I loved it, but it was
no,
a different.
you don't.
It was like adrenaline addiction, and the things I really loved was sitting having those one-to-one connections, or dealing with people in groups or doing coaching. And like now, I just get to do that all the time.
I think listen to the signs.
It's
as
magic.
well. Oh, sorry, Mel.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the
go on.
comments about Yvette glowing. Oh, look at what Yvette is glowing. You glow, girl.
It might actually be my cool new light. Hang on, I've got some settings too. Wait, look.
Don't do the lights thing. You are glowing. You look gorgeous. It's glow.
Wow, you are, sweetheart. You are.
You who don't know, Yvette is our resident now. She's accepted. Is our resident goddess for the Real You program. So whether you're in the Real You or the Real You Elite, which both these girls are in our elite program because they've graduated from the Real You. Yvette basically will be doing like Kundalini for us. We've got a Kundalini session on Monday morning, and just a spiritual check as we go on our journey. So it's expansive in more ways than one. Still glowing, isn't she, Heather? Yeah, don't blame the lights. Don't blame the lights. So, Yvette, what were you going to say though?
So I think so. It's like follow the signs as well. Trust the signs. I know some people are quite scientific in their minds and what have you, which is absolutely fine, but you will be getting signs. You will be getting signs from the universe. And I think that morning that I woke up, and so my thing's always been, if I've got a really difficult question, I go to bed and do my like just relaxing and visualization and stuff, and then I ask the question just as I'm falling asleep, because I know that if it's an urgent reply, I'll have it first thing in the morning. So when you wake up and you just kind of get like sort of conscious, and I immediately go into gratitude and visualization. And my brain's trained to do that now, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
Although it does go off on a tangent sometimes, but essentially it's there. And I was dilly-dallying, having like the feet in each camp, like, oh, get a job, oh, the business. And I wasn't doing anything. I was procrastinating and just, pissing myself off. Sorry for the language. And so I just kind of went to bed. I don't know why I'm apologizing.
I'm on the call today.
And I went to bed and I was like, what do I need to do? Like, what is going to help me with my energy and stuff like that? And anyway, I woke up in the morning and the first thought that popped in my head was decide. And then I was like, right, I'm messaging Donna before I've woken up enough to actually talk myself out of messaging Donna. I don't know why I messaged you, because I kind of knew the answer. All I had to do was belt up.
So I'll get like an 8-minute voice note from her, and the answer is always belt up. Belt up. Do it.
It's such a great northern saying. Like, I've never heard it before.
And she'll even
But
say
I love
it,
what you're saying.
and I don't know why I'm asking you, and I think I know, and I So anyway, I'll be brushing my teeth and not listening to her. Then I just go, I've listened to it, now belt up.
I love what you're saying about signs, because until I started doing the Real You and getting into all this, I would not have said I was particularly spiritual. I was probably really cynical about all that bullshit. But I've got a nice little signs story to share with you. So, I got the opportunity to sign up for this coaching thing with Brendan Burchard's team.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I don't even understand how this came about. By the way, I'm like,
I know I'll have to share that story, but basically, over a couple of calls, I had the chance to think about it, and I was on my final call, and I hadn't given the yes or no answer. And I was walking around the house with my phone, and I noticed that there was an envelope in the letterbox. So I went to open it, and I'm still on the phone with this guy who's like, hey, rah, rah, rah. And I opened it, and it was a crystal from Tina, and it was fluorite, which is the crystal for clarity and focus. And the mantra or the affirmation that comes with it is, my mind is clear and I am ready for this. And I opened that as I was on the phone to this guy, kind of going, are you ready for this, Melanie? Are you ready for this? And I just went, yes, I've just got a crystal. I'm so ready for this.
Thinking, what?
I told him all about it. So anyway, but that was my third. That was my third sign of the week when I tapped into Gabrielle and put a call out for guidance. That was my third piece, I guess, of guidance that I got that week. And it was amazing.
And if anybody's asking and doesn't know what we're talking about, this is just about the fact that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you've got all of source energy, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, like at your disposal, but we don't tend to communicate unless we're really in the shit and we want something. So we really encourage you to constantly be connecting to your guidance, your intuition, your inner guides, and just asking for help. And if you want help with something, literally just say, I want a sign. And you can either ask for a sign, or Gabby always says, Gabby Burns, you be really specific and say, if I'm on the right track, I want to say bulldogs. And trust me, I did this the other week, and it was like a bulldog fest in South Shields, which is bulldogs everywhere. So whatever it is that you want the sign for, you can be really clear about what it is that you want the sign to ring. I remember in our first year of business, I think it was like it was around the Christmas when things were really lean and it was quite scary. And I remember saying like the spiritual throwdown, where I was like, right. I felt really guided up until this point. I have walked away from a lot of money. So if you don't want me to do this and I'm not on the right path, you better show me pretty fast. Screaming at the top of my lungs, and I kid you not, the phone rang. And I went, it was Christmas, all the lights were on. I was like, to answer the call, and it was a guy I know who is like one of the best coaches like ever. He was actually trained by Clement Stone. He's incredible. He's coached top golfers. He's coached Jimmy White. He was the guy that brought Jimmy White from the Abyss to win the Masters or whatever it's called years and years ago. He's amazing. And you went, Donna, it's Mike. How are you doing? I was like, I'm okay. I didn't mention that was in the middle of a spiritual / emotional meltdown. Anyway, I just spoke to this guy. He said, and honestly, Donna, he said, it's going to be a massive contract. I'm going to need your help. It could be a lot of work next year. Are you up for it? And I went,
amazing.
Yes, we can talk about it after Christmas, Mr. Finnegan. How are you? Like, you know, like proper. And I was like, that's amazing. He's like, obviously, can't promise anything. And I was like, no, thank you. Your call came at a really good time. How are you? How's the family? I hung up. I hit my knees and I prayed and I said, thank you. Because nothing actually came of that, but it didn't need to. It was the fact that it was just the sign of like this whole phone call, your whole thing can change. So belt up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and having your little emotional and spiritual pity party. Like, you are being looked after and guided, and just have faith. And I think May is like a lovely, warm, cozy, I'm okay feeling.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. After you've made those decisions or followed those signs, it's really important to notice how you feel as well, because it was like a oh yeah, she's a crystal dealer.
Crystal dealer.
Don't add the bet in. But yeah, it's like literally after I made that decision, everything flowed. I felt like all of the pressure in my head had gone, any indecision, just everything felt like in flow. And I know there's going to be ups and downs and wiggle woggles and what have you, but you know, it's everything about it feels right, everything. And the response I've had from Facebook and from LinkedIn is just nuts. Like I can't keep up with all the lovely people that want to chat about stuff. So that's cool.
It's, you know, if anybody ever reads or listens to Abraham Hicks, Esther talks all the time about how you're either going upstream or you're going downstream. So if you just imagine, if you're in resistance and things feel tough and difficult, it's like swimming against the current. It's hard work, it's exhausting, it's not sustainable, and it's not fun. When you just stop and take a breath and just let the current carry you and go with your spiritual flow, things are a lot easier. So just in life, think about, where are you swimming up against the stream? Where does it feel hard right now? Where are you experiencing resistance in your life? And actually, if you were just on your back floating downstream towards the water, you know, like what would that feel like? What would that be? And what needs to shift? And it's the tiniest shifts like that where you observe resistance, bring back your alignment. Like Yvette, sometimes we're so addicted to the resistance though. Like we think that good things won't happen unless we're struggling and it's hard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like we have to be looking for a job and I can't, but what happens, who are you if you just let that go and just focus on this? All that energy and resistance goes and you can just focus on this. But sometimes we're just hanging on to it because it's a pattern of behavior that doesn't feel good, and we'll be talking about that a lot on Monday as well, about how we let stuff go.
And I think
I think it's really important to let stuff go. I was reflecting on this, and in the last 6 months, everything that I've done that has had a really, really positive impact on me, I didn't want to do. So I remember even after I'd signed up to The Real You, and I was like, oh, don't want to do it. It's going to be hard. I don't want to do it. Turned out to be brilliant. I joined the Second Nature health program, and when the scales and the recipe book arrived, I just sat there going, I'm totally just doing the 2-week trial and sending them back. I do not want to do this. 12 weeks later, I feel amazing, and I'm so glad I did it. The Brendan thing was like, oh God, he's gonna they send me homework every week. Don't want to do it. Now I feel like I'm really enjoying it, and it's like I'm excited about it. And even the Real You Elite, I'm like, more hard work, really? And then as soon as I start doing it, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever done. And sorry if I'm gabbling on, but I just want to come back to a comment that we made earlier, that people may resist doing a program like Real You because they might not like what they discover about themselves. And I'm just going to blow that myth out of the water, because I think what will happen, and it ties in with what you were saying a bit about alignment, is you will discover who you really are. You'll put yourself on all the right paths with all the right people. And I'm going to go out there and say I defy anybody not to like themselves when they've done that. You're not going to find this horrible, horrible, evil person lurking inside of you. You're going to find the opposite.
Yeah.
Can pretty much guarantee. And if you do find little things that come out that you don't like, guess what? You can choose to change that.
Yeah. It's so true. It's actually one of the objections, though. People say, I'm just worried what I'll find. I might not like myself. And it's mad, because normally you're having the conversation already because you don't like either where you are or who you are or where your life's going. So it is one of those things, you just got nothing to lose except time, isn't it? And space. So
yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to do this today, but I think we've talked about it so much. We've opened up the diary. We got 33 requests last night for discovery calls after the session.
Wow.
Yes. However, because we've talked about it today, and it would hurt me heart if somebody was sitting there going, well, I want to know more about any of the services that we offer and how the girls are glowing, and I don't feel like I'm glowing. So I'm going to put the discovery call link in the comments. And if you do want to speak to us, we will do our absolute best to get you scheduled in as well. We only open the calendar up so many weeks because it's because this happens.
Because you guys are nuts. You're crazy.
I've literally just said to the family, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm just going to have to speak to people, because when you have the bravery and the courage to say now is a good time and I'm ready to start talking about this, I never want you to be hanging for long. So, because I remember what it was like reaching out to Danielle. So, yes, exciting time. So, ladies, it's always a pleasure as always, and have a lovely weekend. Everybody watching, have a lovely weekend.
You too.
On replay, and you've got any questions or anything, tag Mel, Yvette or me, and we'll come back to you. And if you're not already in the Soul System, join the Soul System. We are in there all the time. It's a fun place to hang out, and we love you lots. See you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.